Thank you. I would also like to acknowledge our faculty this morning, and I would simply say that I believe that the students are the lifeblood of this university. But I firmly believe that the faculty is the backbone of this university. I would like for our faculty to please rise and let us acknowledge your contributions to this university. This morning, I would also like to present Dr. Wanda Luton, if she would please stand. As has been mentioned, she is the recipient of the 2006-07 Outstanding Teaching Excellence Award. She is an associate professor in the Department of Communication. Congratulations, Dr. Luton. And then this morning, it's my privilege to also present to you the Distinguished Alum Award, the recipient that has been designated by our Alumni Association this year. They select an individual each year based on bringing merit, being distinguished in their field, whatever it is. And this particular year, it just so happens the recipient is our own SFA, Dr. Francis Abernathy. Dr. Abernathy, would you please rise? And I would like to make just a few comments about Dr. Abernathy. Dr. Abernathy is a graduate of Nacogdoches High School. He's also a graduate of SFA, and in fact graduated in 1949. After graduating from SFA, he ended up over at Louisiana State University where he earned his PhD. Then he later taught at Lamar University. And in 1965, he returned to his beloved SFA. And now it is my privilege to present to you this morning our commencement speaker. We have an outstanding individual as our speaker this year. In fact, he is our own Congressman, Louis Gohmert. Let me tell you just briefly about Louis Gohmert. Louis Gohmert is from Mount Pleasant, Texas. He attended Texas A&M University. While at Texas A&M University, he was the battalion commander of the Texas A&M Corps of Cadets. In addition, he was president of his class. After graduating from Texas A&M University, he then went to Baylor College of Law. And once again, he was president of his class there. After he graduated and had earned his doctorate in jurisprudence degree, then he served as a captain in the U.S. Army. And then later, he was elected district judge 3 times in Smith County, and then he was named the Chief Justice of the 12th Appeal Court of Texas by the governor. In 2005, our own Louis Gohmert went to Washington. And in Washington, he has been very active serving on various committees. He served on 2 powerful committees out of the House of Representatives resource area, and in addition serves on small business. I can tell you that throughout his career, he has been known as a man of honesty, compassion, fairness, and when it's all said and done, he is recognized throughout our state and our nation as a man of integrity. We are proud to have him as our congressman. He spends more time in Nacogdoches than perhaps some of the residents of Nacogdoches. He represents this university the greatest way possible. In fact, he was in Nacogdoches this past Saturday night at a major SFA event. Came back last night for another event. Came back today. That is unheard of, congressmen to spend that much time at SFA. We're indeed honored to have him representing us, and we're so thankful that he would come today and be our commencement speaker. Louis Gohmert.
We're here, we've been impressed, and Mother were here, she'd actually believe all that. But I love being at Stephen F. Austin University. I have when I was growing up, been honored when my kids have been here for different courses. But what a treat, and just to feel the enthusiasm, it just fires you up. A whole lot different from Washington, I might add. So this is a wonderful, wonderful event this morning, and I'm proud to be here. You know, I learned so many lessons before I got to Washington. I had a judge friend that was telling me he was in Austin for a seminar, and he was staying at a hotel there that has a free breakfast in with the price of the room. And he noticed there was a busload of senior citizens from First Baptist Church of Crockett, Texas, staying at the same hotel. And the next morning, some of them were standing in the breakfast line in front of him. And he heard the two in front of him. They obviously knew each other talking. And one standing right in front of him had 2 plates that were already heaped up, completely covered with food from the breakfast. He's still in line. And the guy turned around in front of him and he said, "Don't you know eating like that will kill you?" And the guy with the plate said, "I'll have you know, my grandfather lived to be 95 years of age." The guy in front of him said, "Really? Your grandfather lived to 95 eating like that?" And he said, "No, my grandfather lived to be 95 by minding his own business." So, that was a good lesson to learn. And I look out here at the hundreds and hundreds of graduates today, and it's obvious you've been minding your business, or you wouldn't be here today. So what a great day. You know, and as I understand it, for the first time, Stephen F. Austin will be having some graduate today who took advantage of an online opportunity, and that this will be the first group in the state of Texas to learn their teacher certification online. So that's pretty impressive as well. I also had a researcher tell me that students, when you get your degree today, a bachelor's degree, you will be more educated than 75% of the people in the United States. You know, there are so many opportunities that have been made possible because of the vision of our predecessors and because of the sacrifices and their fight for the freedoms we have. One is the freedom of religion, and I hope that you'll be tolerant if you hang around me and I mention God, you'll be tolerant just like I would of you if you don't believe there is one. But one of the greatest freedoms in the country is the freedom to make so many choices. You know, you were accepted, students, you were accepted to Stephen F. Austin, but you chose to apply here. You chose to come here. You chose the course of study. You chose how hard you would study or not study. I see some of your faces there. Yes, I know it's mine. But now you're going to be choosing how and where you're going to live. But let me tell you, life is not easy. There's great successes you'll incur. But there are heartbreaking failures, and all of those are part of life. For example, I think back on my years in college, my sophomore and junior year, I was dating a girl. She was beautiful, she was brilliant, and besides, other than those two things, we had a lot in common. But anyway, she's just a terrific person, and we even talked about the possibility that, we'd probably get married after college at least. And the summer before my senior year, she abruptly ended the relationship. I was devastated. I just couldn't believe it. This seemed to be a marriage made in heaven. It took all of my senior year. The next year when I started law school, I was still depressed. I was having trouble getting over that girl that I thought we were supposed to be together. When I got to law school, I met an undergraduate there named Kathy. 2 years later, we were married. We had 3 wonderful daughters. I thank God that I got done before my senior year in college. I can look back and see that now. I couldn't see it at the time. When I was a nominee for Outstanding Young Texan from Mount Pleasant High School, where I grew up in school, I wondered at times what the outstanding young Texan for the whole state must be like. when I got to A&M, I found out his name was Steve Everhart of New Braunfels, Texas. He was an incredible guy. We became very close friends, and he ended up helping me get elected to be class president, our sophomore class, and then junior and senior class. And in return, I was going to help him get elected to be student body president in our junior year. Well, by the time our end of our junior year rolled around, Steve was so popular, he didn't need my help. We were good friends, and I consider Steve truly the best and brightest in my class of 3,000 to 4,000 students. We would argue and discuss sometimes the questions and great mysteries of life, sometimes into the wee hours. He had such a brilliant intellect, good-looking guy, just friendly, humble, kind of guy you just love to be around. And I knew that one day, I just felt one day, I was going to quit whatever I was doing, wherever I was doing it, and I was going to go and help Steve get elected to be president of the United States. Because I knew the country needed him, and he would be great for the country, and we'd all be better off. And after A&M, he went to Harvard Law School. I went to Baylor Law School. He owed the Army a 90-day commitment. I owed 4 years because of the scholarship I had at A&M. But near the end of my 4 years in the Army, I got a call from an Aggie friend. He said Steve had a heart attack that nobody knew about, and his heart had stopped. He was gone. This was my friend Steve. I couldn't believe it. Gone. That wasn't supposed to happen. And a few years later, his father died. Some in New Braunfels said they believed it was a broken heart, but it was such a magnificent son. Then 10 years or so later, his mother was found to have cancer. We had some classmates that would get together in South Texas. And when I'd go to New Braunfels, I'd always stop and get flowers to go by and see Ms. Everhart. The last few years of her life, she was in a nursing home there in New Braunfels. And one day, I'd gone by to see her. And at that point, she was in a wheelchair. I wheeled her into a sunroom where we